Hey guys, Jester here from Urban Legends Airsoft, and today we have the review of the Elite Force VFC KAC PDW. Hope you enjoy the video. My life be like, yeah. My life be like, yeah. Alright guys, to start off the review, I'm going to go over some specs. Both upper and lower receivers are full metal. The rails on the upper receiver are integrated to the receivers itself, so there is not going to be any rail movement. The stock of the gun is also a foldable stock, which clicks into place very well. There's no wobble there. The gun itself does come with a PDW style pistol grip. However, I just switched that out with a M4 or M16 style pistol grip. You can also interchange those with a MOE grip or any other type of M4 grip. I just think that's easier just because you get to use a long type motor. Now in the box you'll find the PEC 15 style PEC box, no battery included. You'll also find a speed loader, which was a nice surprise. You'll also find a little pack of BBs and your front and rear sights, along with a 120 round VFC PDW style magazine. The gun does come with a bright orange tip, however I do not recommend using this orange tip. The BBs that go through the orange tip, they hit the inside of the orange tip as the hole is too small. So I recommend just getting either another orange tip, black tip, silencer, or even a Noveski amplifier as you see here. Now the range I was able to squeeze out maybe 130, 120 feet. Not going to get that much as this is a small gun, it's a PDW, so you're not going to be really hitting 150 feet, maybe 200 feet that often. Probably not even 200 feet ever, because this is a very small weapon. And that brings me to my next point, the hop-up chamber. The hop-up chamber itself is pretty useless to me. I recommend getting some sort of different hop-up, maybe Pro Win or Mad Bull hop-up, because the hop-up unit made by VFC is pretty cheap. The bucking itself is average. I recommend upgrading, maybe a Mad Bull or G&P bucking. Even in R-Hop that would work. But overall the entire hop-up assembly is pretty much shot. FPS on this gun is only around 340 to 350. Your FPS might vary as the compression on guns stock may come good, may come bad. I'd estimate maybe around 342, 343. Now the gun comes stock with a VFC original gearbox. Many people think the VFC gearbox is just 100% awesome. It's the best gearbox on the market. False. That is not true. The VFC gearbox is known for piston problems, is known for many problems at that. I recommend, maybe internal upgrades. I've been lucky so far. I haven't had any issues with the gearbox itself other than the hop-up. As I did put a M4 style motor grip on here, I did put a G&P M120 high-speed motor in there, and I got it up to 37 rounds per second on an 11.1 volt LiPo, 1600 milliamp. Now that is pretty insane. I honestly do not recommend doing this. That is just a shoo-in for stripping your piston or maybe even your gears too. So even if you do that, I usually only do bursts, maybe 3 to 5 shot bursts at most. You hold down the trigger for more than 2 seconds, you're probably risking tripping your piston. So either 3 to 5 shot bursts or semi-auto, that would work too. The trigger response is very, very nice. I haven't mentioned that yet, but it is very great. It's almost instant. Bringing me to my next point, using an 11.1 volt LiPo on this, I mean, you can. I don't find VFC weapons LiPo ready. Only company I probably find LiPo ready is KWA. Opinion, disagree, agree with me on that, but anyway, I probably recommend using a 7.4 volt if you want the extra trigger response. If you want ROF, I mean, I don't really see the need for 37 rounds per second. That just wastes ammo to me. The perfect ROF for me would probably be around maybe 25 to 30. I mean, why is there a need to spray someone with 30 BBs? Honestly, I usually go semi-auto anyway. I've also noticed that the selector switch is pretty cheaply made. I've noticed this on many VFC, just many other VFC guns like the M4, the Scars, in this gun as well. And I've noticed that the selector switches, they don't necessarily work very well if you're ambidextrous, like if you're left-handed. Now, I'm a righty. I usually use the left side of the gun for the selector switch. When you use the left side of the gun for the selector switch, the right side, it doesn't always follow, as I'm showing you right now. So watch out for that. I mean, the selector switches definitely get loose over time, as I've noticed actually after my first couple games with it. It gets loose pretty easily, so make sure to tighten that. I've also noticed that when you plug in the battery to the actual gun, sometimes it doesn't fire. You'll need to adjust the connections a little bit. So that's also a pretty big con, because when you're out in the field and your gun's not firing, you immediately think either motor connections, or either internally something's wrong. But for me, it was just the motor connections. I guessed right. I just kind of squeezed them together. It started firing again. So make sure to watch out for that as well. Another thing I've noticed, and this is a pretty big one, guys, that the magwell is definitely unique. Now, I tried PMags in this, and I've tried some other high caps, and they have not worked. Now, I don't mean it's too tight, I mean it's too big. The Magpul PMags will literally fall out of the gun if you shake it too much. Some other high caps will also do that as well. The only mid cap that I find will fit flawlessly in this gun is the actual mid cap it comes with. So I know they do offer them on some sites, so make sure if you're going to buy this gun, you might want to consider getting those. Now, the mag release does not actually have a screw on it, so you're going to have to improvise somehow. I'm not actually sure on how to tighten it, since it does not have a screw or anything on it. So make sure to watch out for that as well. Now, the gun stock probably comes in at around maybe 30 rounds per second on an 11.1 volt LiPo, and maybe 25 rounds per second on a 7.4 volt LiPo. That's just an estimate, not really going off past experience, because immediately when I got it, the VFC motor was pretty terrible, I'll be honest. So I just switched out the motor grips, and I switched out the motors, since the gun does come with a medium shaft motor, not a long type motor, as the actual motor grip that it comes with stock is a PDW style motor grip. Now, this is the 8-inch barrel version, so you will find that the barrel is textured a little bit. Kind of looks like a golf ball to me. Gives the gun a nice touch, I think. Pretty cool. Now, you also got the imitation gas tubes in there, and I think the PEC 15 box really gives it a nice look. Now, a pro I did find with this is that, wow, the weight is literally like 4 pounds. I mean, you're looking for CQB or Rush, and if you're playing or like CQB environments, this is probably the gun you're gonna want to get, because this weighs 4 pounds. You're getting maybe 120, 130 feet of range with this. The trigger response, the ROF, it's pretty damn great for a stock gun. I will say that. Only thing I'd probably recommend doing immediately would be to remove the orange tip, because the BBs will hit the inside of the orange tip, as I've stated before. Now, for those of you that like Realism, we've got some Elite Force trademarks on the gun, along with an ambi mag release and a realistic bolt catch. We've also got an ambi selector switch. Now, there is also a sling mount on the end of the stock, and there also should be a sling mount right before the stock starts, but I do not have one of those yet. You can buy one for maybe $10, $15 off weaponblender.com or any other site you wish. Now, an ideal setup for me would probably be the PEC 15 style PEC box on the top, along with a 551 black hollow sight, an MOE motor grip along with some tan mag mid caps, the Noveski amplifier along with an AFG on the bottom, and a flashlight on the side. That's probably my ideal setup externally. I'm not really going to go over the internal part as it's just my opinions. Definitely have the stock extended, but that's also my opinion. Folded stock really isn't needed. That's just for, concealing it, storing it. There's not really that much of a need for actually using it in combat. Now, if you guys are looking for some gameplay with this gun, as I know it's not really popular in the airsoft world, the price does come at around $430 on most sites. You could probably find it cheaper on some other sites too. But there's not really that many gameplay videos with this. I will have a link in the description of a video. I use this at Paintball Explosion. Be aware, it is some pretty good gameplay, and it's also pretty funny too. But if you want to go check that out, please go do so. And thanks for watching the video, guys. Also, guys, please tell me your thinking on this style of review. I usually do just straightforward reviews, like just telling you specifications and everything, but this time I actually went over my opinions on it, and it's a different style of review. So tell me if you like this one, or this style of review, or some styles I've done in the past. If you're a subscriber, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It really does help a lot. Also, like the video if you liked it. And please remember to like our Facebook page for updates and sneak peeks. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. This is Urban Legends Airsoft, and we are out.